on the
so,
left, but mostly on the right.
Okay, all right, a little way back. Okay, out and back, and out and back. It's harder.
That one.
Okay, that one. Okay. And we've been doing the left, correct?
Yes.
The whole time. We're gonna take a whiff
Okay.
on the right.
Okay.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Okay, now let's stand up and see what happens. How do you feel right now?
I feel good.
That?
I feel good.
Okay, it's definitely better. You're going out, which is
Still pulling to the right, so that's good.
okay. Yeah. So actually, it's saying with what I see, it's saying left. So let's do peppermint up the left side.
Okay.
His legs are in the way.
Left side.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's stand up. That looks great. Stabilizing really fast. Yeah, really good. Okay, how does that feel? Any dizzy, lightheaded, nausea?
I feel good.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dang, I had all these ideas.
Ow!
Face that way. Let's take a look at the other side real quick. That's definitely less than it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it anyway.
It's getting
I just get
better.
C2 right now.
C2.
Yeah. Twist to the right. Twist to the left. Okay, now move your head around. Lay back. Tender, tender, tender.
Yeah.
That's one?
Yeah.
Okay, belly button. Okay, and then down tender.
Yep. Oh yeah. It tickles really bad at the beginning.
Come on. Now piano fingers.
I feel like the left are slower,
Okay.
but they feel good.
Soothing. Soothing. Soothing.
Wrist.
Tell me when it's no longer soothing.
And this is just activating the left side of the brain.
I'm getting the left cerebellum without crossing over to the right cortex.
Okay. And it doesn't matter if we do fingers, wrist, or elbow. It's just whatever feels good at the time, right?
Yeah, because it hits a different neuronal pool
Oh.
in the cerebellum.
Oh, so should I kind of rotate? Because they all feel equally okay.
Yeah, when we want to find the one that feels the best.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the dentate nucleus, this is the eboliform, this is the globose. And then anything that's spine or eye movements is going to be the vestigial nucleus.
And when I have my different seizures, I am having activation in different cranial nerves. Is that correct?
Well, you can. Anytime there's cranial nerve, how are you going to know that?
Well, because of what's being affected. If it's
Yep.
the eyes, if it's the mouth.
It's the eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mouth. Anything that's here up in your head, but not here back.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to be cranial nerves.
Okay. And then hands going in, feet going in.
That's neck and head, feet.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. How many of those have you had in the last 2 days?
I have not had any of those in the last 2 days.
Man, I know how you miss them.
I know my neck doesn't know what to do, not jerking around. It's freaking out right now. And have you seen I've been able to do up on my toes? I can go up on my toes now. I can do, and it doesn't trigger. It's awesome.
Very good. Like that. Let's do your left foot. There, there, there.
In.
Tell me when it's no longer soothing.
And this is reaching a different part of my brain.
This is doing the same kind of thing. I'm getting your cerebellum. In fact, we did the wrist. The wrist is the dentate. This is the dentate for the foot.
Okay.
Right? It's a part of the same pool, but it's in a different area of the pool.
Okay. So that's interesting how I picked the same pool for both.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Same pool.
And knowing all of this, it allows me to do things that, like, let's say you had a knee problem, a left knee problem, and I want to work with the knee, but before I work with the knee, let's say you have an orthopedic problem that's led to not using it as much, therefore that pool is weakening. So before I even work on the knee, I can work on that elbow because it's in the same pool. So I can jack this up before I even work with that neurological.
Okay. I'm surprised. I had both ACLs replaced in the 90s, 90 and 91, and I thought, oh, they're going to be done. The doctor even said you're probably going to have them redone. They're fantastic.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that I see in sport is severe imbalance. In fact, I was really, when we were talking to somebody, I was talking to the grandma of the player that she's related to, Miners. He's the guard, and he's one of the top in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he was saying for the Broncos, yeah, and that's the orange jersey I wear. Well, he was saying, that we've got the best trainers in the world. And I go, what a pile of crap that is. How many non-contact injuries do you guys have? You've lost so many great players to non-contact injuries, and that's all in severe imbalancement. You are working so hard on the primary driver that you're not working on the stabilizers. And when you work on the stabilizers, it'll actually significantly improve the outcome, but also they're not going to get injured.
Right.
Just absolutely.
So by working on the stabilizers, is that how you're doing our brain with the colonics and getting us level and equal? Simple.
So if you have a knee problem, what muscles do we need to work?
Above and below.
We got to work here, here, right? They're working here.
Right. Oh yeah, I've always been taught to do the quads.
Gravity is always going to make these stronger than that.
Okay, so
and we're working
hamstrings.
from here down, right?
Yeah.
They're going to do whole exercise for the whole hamstring. That's not how it works. The top half is hip, the bottom half is knee.
Okay.
And so we're going to do exercises with these right here,
Wow.
not these.
Well, it makes sense why my ACLs came out, because my quads were so huge. I mean, they were like, oh, look at those babies. And they were, and my quads and my calves. But look at now, I got all these Achilles tendon problems because this is so weak, and my hamstrings were never great. They were flexible,
And so,
but not popping.
So why did it rip the
Overstrength here and here on the wrong
But
muscles.
particularly, your you said ACL, correct? Okay. What does the ACL do?
Hold my knee to
It
hold the legs
limits
together.
it limits it from going this way. That's why
Yeah.
clipping is illegal, right? It keeps it there, and this is the opposing muscle group, and so this is so strong. But imagine the forces if I'm pulling you, right? Your car, and I'm pulling you with my vehicle, and towing, and we're going along, and then I slow down. You're going to catch up to me, right? But then when I take off, what's going to happen?
You're gonna,
Exactly. That's exactly what happens, because boom.
yeah.
And I've got this tug of war, which it should be tug of war. I got this tug of war, and I've got Arnold Schwarzenegger and Pee Wee Herman.
Exactly. That's what I had.
Who loses, right? Boom. You rip it. You rip it forward, and that's what happens. And so, when I have somebody with an ACL tear that's not complete, because if it's complete, you got to have them resected, right?
Oh yeah.
But I'll say, okay, let's get the balance of strength. You're never really going to get balance because gravity is every day, all day long, with that you're up. And so, but if you can imagine this is what I call re-engineering. That ligament is there to keep you from doing this, right? That tearing allows it to go this way. Well, what is like it? The hamstrings. So we take the hamstrings here and we fatten them. As they get fatter, they get shorter, right? That's why a bodybuilder can't comb his hair.
Yeah,
his
exactly.
tricep is so
Welcome
huge.
quotation mark.
Yeah, he can't reach his head. Well, that's what we're going to do with the hamstrings. We're going to make them very, very short, which is going to bring it back into its position, but also allow it to move from that position. Because surgeons, they'll say, oh yeah, we can trim that up, and we can, yeah. Once you do that, you don't know where it should be. We're going to dial it in, right? And then we're going to train it to do that. Also, when you have a surgery, and it doesn't matter what kind of surgery it is, on the knee or on the shoulder, the best you're going to do with a great rehab, which never happens anymore, is 75%. That's the best you're going to do.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, so my comment is, I'm a risk management guy. If you're at 80, 85%, why do the surgery? Because you're going to go down just because you did the surgery.
Right.
If you're at 30% and you use your knee a lot, now we're making some sense, right? Because I need to get back at least to 75% if I can.
Yeah, my ACL was ripped, shredded in half.
Yeah.
And it even came out of both ends, just floating around
Yeah,
in there.
and that's because of the severe imbalancement.
Oh yeah.
And it was a non-contact injury.
Oh yeah, I just did a leap.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's because of the severe, and just like with the car, we're going along, boom, bam, tear it. And that happens with the Achilles, right? They're going along, boom, and they rip the Achilles because it's so strong, and there's nothing to create that smooth transition between the Achilles tendon and the gastrocnemius soleus and the tibialis anterior group. All of that, it's because even though it may be fast, boom, it needs to do it together rather than tearing it. So that's why. Does that make sense?
Awesome. You're very much so.
And so that's why all these non-contact injuries in the NFL. And I say, every time I see one, I say you should fire that entire team. Nobody on there is able to talk sense and understand how the body really works and the body imbalance. And there are guys who've already described this, not only in biomechanics, but Gray Cook. He's the only PT I'll listen to. I mean, he is brilliant. I've already taken several of his classes, and I've got others I've already purchased.
What's his name?
Gray, G-R-A-Y, Gray Cook.
Gray Cook.
Brilliant guy, and I always judge him, everybody I'm listening to, according to not just the biomechanics that I know and that, but also neurology, neuroscience, he is right on.
Wonderful.
And that's why I keep listening and keep, I would eventually probably like to take his, I'm gonna take his courses, obviously I'm doing it, but I mean, go to there and get actual certifications with him.
That would be cool.
But yeah, he's
What would
he's
what would the certifications be?
he has some certifications for if you're more like a high performance person working with high performance. He's got a thing for that, like let's say if you're a personal trainer or whatever. But then he's got one for doctors, and I would take the doctor one, even though I might wind up doing high performance. I would prefer the doctor one.
Mm-hmm.
In that,
Next
so
level.
see what he's been able to translate from his understanding, and then his model. And his model, what he's been able to translate. I mean, some basic stuff. I mean, and I've been incorporating it. It's totally a different world, and that's why I say I keep on stepping into new worlds. And I'm looking around, going, man, I didn't even know this world existed.
Right?
You want to try an exercise?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's see. Let's do